If you've been following me for some time, you will know that I am pretty hard on the NABS. Shout out to Tom Kenyon, the sound healer, where I learned that term. NABS also stands for New Agey Bull. And in the realm of personal and spiritual development, there's a lot of NABS. So this week's question comes from one of our community members, and she asks, Leslie, what are some pitfalls and bypasses and things to be cautious of? As I'm really changing and growing in my understanding, I want to keep my discernment, and I'm a little worried that I'm going to be a gullible sponge. And also I want to keep myself in check. So this video, we're talking about how do you really build discernment and use the positive parts of open spirituality that moves us out of everyday life while still building discernment and keeping yourself on track. Let's get started. Hey, welcome back. Leslie Huddart here. I am a healer and spiritual guide. I've been doing healing work in the mind, body, natural health sector as an acupuncturist and clinician for over 10 years, and my specialty is helping healers, empaths, seekers, and highly sensitive people release the trauma trapped in their body without years of talking about it in therapy. So let's dive into this question of, in the world of natural health, new agey healing and stuff, how do we actually keep discernment when we hear lots of things like it's all good and things like that? So shout out to new aginess. It's not all bad. You'll hear me be quite strong on it. And it's true that there is some good. The gift of open spirituality that's a little bit hodgepodge here and there is that can really help to be our transition into the more subtle aspects of life, to kick us out of mundane reality and to start to think, wow, there actually might be more going on here than I realized. And at some point we want to transition into actual grounded discernment. And just like everything else in life, we want to judge by results. So there are a lot of ways that we can get distracted and fall off track, but I'm going to give you two main guideposts to really focus. So no shade if you've been riding the new agey train, but you may want to start to think about, where am I getting results and where might I be just doing a little too pick and choose hodgepodge for my own good? So number one, when you hear a new agey thought or someone who is spouting things that seem interesting or some new agey doctrine, the first thing to ask as a guided compass to build discernment is, who is it coming from? So looking at that individual or source and asking a couple of questions. How are they leading by example in their life, in their conduct, and in how their words match with their action? It's a big red flag when you are not able to trust the messenger, because ultimately true spirituality with a capital T outside of religion, the essence of spirituality in all traditions is transformative. Someone who is really living it will have increased capacity, increased presence, increased heart, increased equanimity of the ability to really be present and to affect situations and carry themselves in ways that show up and leave clues. This is different. So if you notice someone who just by the picture of their life says one thing but does another. When I was in my early 20s in Pittsburgh, I was dating someone who was really well connected in the Pittsburgh New Agey circle, which I was not really connected with. And I remember being at dinner with a group of people and him saying, yeah, so-and-so over there, she teaches classes on abundance, but she can't actually pay her bills. So this is not to judge people, but it's to have discernment with anything, not just new aginess. The person who it's coming from, are they aligned? Do their words match with their action? Are they teaching something that they are also living? Are they appearing spiritual and talking softly, but then being an asshole behind somebody's back? Use your discernment to trust the messenger as a way to have a heads up that the message that's coming through may not be grounded in the way that you want it to. Number two is getting to deeper sources. If you are finding you are really craving more spiritual information, I would challenge you to really send out a laser beam request to the universe and to really state that you are ready for some more spiritual study. Now, that doesn't mean you have to join some religious order or pick a religion tradition. But what I would say is, as you start to really feel this thirst for knowledge, starting to find longer tradition-based things versus something that was just someone's psychic awareness that came down into a book that sounds good but may or may not be grounded is not the best approach. So you want to start putting it out there that you are ready to engage with more spiritual study. You are ready for teachers who are really aligned with your soul to show up in different ways. And then you use step number 1 to really judge and have discernment. So anything you do, we want to, number 3, always come back to judge by results. That was an extra one. Start out saying there's 2, but we always end with that judge by results. So with all of these things together, you'll start to build discernment. As you're along this path, you'll find lots of information, and you can learn to trust yourself, but especially at the beginning of our awareness, we want to double check by results, see where it's coming from, who the messenger is, and is there a tradition of many wise and wizened yogis, bodhisattvas, whoever it is along the traditional path, saints and mystics, who have also backed up this information. It makes it a little more safer and a little more trustable in the wild and crazy realm of especially Western-based New Agey development and spirituality. You are a soul with a body, and you deserve great things. I'm so glad to be here with you. This is Leslie Huddart, and I will see you next time.